That's why he is more happy on the set because
Yeah,
his
Oh,
ego is so comfortingly big.
yeah.
yeah.
But you can't tell him anything.
No, you can't.
But
No,
we didn't
no.
even try.
It was called Kramer versus Kramer versus Godzilla, and it didn't do the kind of business I was hoping it would do.
We have Spinal Tap! We'll go back in time to that mystic land.
Well, I know you guys were a bit annoyed with how Marty presented you guys in the first documentary. Did you guys have any rules for Marty this time around?
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
No, not really. We perhaps should have. Should have made
Yeah.
him sign a.
We feel sorry for him, so it's hard to be sort of parental and say this is what you must do because you feel sorry. He's sad.
Yeah.
But you get on him on the set, and his ego is so big, it doesn't feel like
That's why he is more happy on the set because
Yeah.
his ego is so comfortingly big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't tell him anything.
No, you can't.
But we didn't even try.
Well, it was interesting to see what you guys were up to in your time off from Spinal Tap.
Right.
Nigel, Derek, have you seen an uptick in the business at the Cheese and Guitar Shop or the Glue Museum since you've been back in the spotlight?
Well, we haven't seen the film, first of all, so I don't know what's in,
And the public hasn't seen the film.
and the public hasn't seen the film. But apart from that, you're on the right track.
Yeah. I'm a big horror guy, and David, has there been any further progress on Night of the Assisted Living Dead?
Progress? No, it's done. I've already scored it. It's been released and withdrawn from release, and then it's been cut up and used for mandolin picks.
I'll
That
have to keep
last
an
bit
eye
I
out.
made it up. No, it's yeah, it was not success.
No.
It didn't really
Sorry to hear
work,
that.
Well, they tried to do it all in 3 shots, three extended. It just didn't work because they had their lunch break
Yeah.
in the middle of one of the shots because
That's
they didn't want
boring.
it. It was very boring,
Yeah.
hearing a lot of actors
Yeah.
talk about fire insurance.
Yeah.
And
Not-
but they had to keep it in contractually.
Yeah.
So it just didn't work with the public. So
Not very
don't
scary.
look for it.
Not scary.
Good music though.
What scary music do you like?
I like John Carpenter's Halloween theme. That's a big one
Oh,
for
yeah,
me.
it's a classic. It's
Yeah.
scary.
And Ennio Morricone's For the Thing, I bet you like that too.
Yes, love that
Yeah.
one. So
That's a great
good.
score. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's as screwed up as the movie is,
But
yeah.
back to us.
Exactly.
I found, music affects people, and for horror movies, obviously, you want to feel tingle up your spine. That's what I felt in that thing, Pillow Talk, with
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Tingler.
no.
I thought you were going to say The Tinkler.
You
That's a short film that you showed me.
It's just no.
Let him ask a
Music is important. Go ahead,
Yeah.
you go, young man.
Nigel, has there been any interest from any of the large guitar manufacturers for your guitar that features a cheese compartment?
Well, that is a manufactured guitar. That's Music Man made that guitar for me. And but the question is, would you make more? It was custom made for me. I'm not sure I get to say whether they do that or not. I think it's a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Even the little grater. The little
Yeah.
grater should be.
Yeah, no, even that.
Hmm.
What's happening here?
I'm mixing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, sadly, your longtime manager Ian Faith passed away prior to filming.
Sadly for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sadly for him.
It was
And
good-
for Hope was a bit
Yeah,
sad.
good for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
No,
I
he
wanted to
wasn't-
ask.
he wasn't the straightest shooter.
Yeah.
Put it that way. Yeah.
Well, I know you were able to work with his daughter Hope on your reunion show. Did you
Yes.
notice any similarities between the two with their managing
no,
styles?
No, she is honest and nice, and so those two things right away
Yeah.
Set them
And-
apart.
set them apart.
Yeah.
No, she was lovely. She
She-
is lovely.
She stole nothing from us so far.
No.
Yeah.
An Evening with Stormy Daniels.
My first question is, what have you been up to in the years between the first documentary and this one?
Well, it's kind of sad. I was hoping that the first film would launch my career in Hollywood, and for a minute it did. I was offered an opportunity to direct the sequel to Kramer versus Kramer, and when it came out, it was called Kramer versus Godzilla, and it didn't do the kind of business I was hoping it would do. So I then sunk into oblivion, and for the last 40 years, I've been roaming around trying to find myself. I found myself living under a bridge for a while. It was luckily that they found me there, and they brought me to a flop house. And after that, I joined a commune. It was actually a retreat, and it was his guru, Baba Ramdas Bose, who was a very famous man of enlightenment. And I was hoping that I could find myself and then hopefully launch myself in another direction. And one morning, I happened to be drinking a spirulina smoothie, and I'm looking at an article in Deadline Hollywood, and I see that Spinal Tap is getting back together after being apart for 15 years. Well, I quickly called up the daughter of the manager, Ian Faith. He had passed away, and Hope Faith. I talked to her, and she said, well, why don't you come and document this too? And I jumped at that chance, and I'm hoping at this point this can, maybe resurrect my career.
Well, I hope so too. And I know the band wasn't super happy with their portrayal in the original doc. Was there any difficulty in getting them to agree to your participation in another documentary?
Well, to be honest, I don't think they had a choice, because they were actually forced to have to do this last concert. There was a stipulation in the contract that Hope inherited from her father, Ian, and it called for one more performance. So they had to do it, and I think they were more upset with that, because they hadn't played in 15 years, than they were in the fact that I was back in the saddle.
Well, and given the fact that the band had already split up a number of times by this point, was there any concern that you wouldn't be able to finish the documentary?
Well, there's always that concern, because, with friends, and particularly Nigel and David, who've known each other since they're little kids, they love each other like brothers, but there's also tension, there's conflict, and as you get older, that conflict can deepen. And as you'll see in the film, it did. So there was always that fear. But for me, that's fine, because I don't care whether they play or not. I'm just trying to document it. And the more tension, the more conflict, the better the film. The more, the more money, maybe.
Well, and the process of picking out a drummer seemed quite arduous. I noticed that the drummers like Chad Smith, Questlove, and Lars Ulrich all appeared via Zoom. Was that for fear of their lives due to what's happened to past Spinal Tap drummers?
You saw exactly how many people have been in this band over the years. 37 people have been in this band over the years.
Well, I think they made it very clear that they didn't want to play for Spinal Tap, because Spinal Tap had lost 11 drummers up until that point. And I think they love rock and roll, but I think they love their lives a lot more than rock and roll. So they passed, and I'm not surprised.
We are Spinal Tap! We'll go back in time to that mystic land.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.